Greetings. Let's see the plot overview of Emma. In the previous lecture, we have seen Jane Austen's biography, right? Let's see the plot overview of Emma, the novel which has given for your syllabus. Okay, Emma is the story of a girl who is both intelligent and wealthy. She wants to improve the lives of both people who are better than her and people who are the same as her. Because she is too sure of herself and wants to change people's lives. She gets some shocks that help her learn more about herself. This helps her find her true lover, Mr. Knightley, who is the man's brother and is going to marry her older sister. This section starts with a summary of the book and then talks about its leading ideas and characters. Right? The main character lives in the village of Highbury. He or she is 20 years old. Even though she is sure she will never get married, she thinks she has a natural talent for making people fall in love. Who the protagonist of the novel, Emma. She is very happy, and her governess and Mr. Weston, who is a widower, got together. Emma agrees to be in charge of finding Harriet Smith a good match. No one knows where Harriet came from, but Emma thinks Harriet should be married to a gentleman, so she asks her friend to think about marrying Mr. Elton, who is a vicar in the village. Harriet likes Robert Martin, a farmer who has money, but Emma talks Harriet out of marrying him. Harriet starts to like uh, Miss Elton because Emma keeps telling her how great he is. When Emma does not notice that Elton is interested in her and not Harriet, the situation becomes ironic. Emma is shocked to find out that her obsession with making matches makes her lose touch with real life. Emma's brother in law and best friend, Mr. Knightley, looks at Emma's attempts to set up a couple in a critical way. He thinks that Harriet would be happy with Mr. Martin. Mr. Knightley and Emma get into a fight over and how Emma tried to set up a date for Harriet. In this fight, Mr. Knightley shows himself to be a wise person. Emma says that Harriet is just as good as him during a conversation with Elton. This upsets Elton, so he leaves for the town of Bath and marries a girl there right away. Emma tries to make her friend feel better. Emma then thinks about Frank Churchill, Mr. Weston's son, who is expected to visit Highbury. Frank is raised in London by his aunt and uncle, who have also made him their heir. He has not been to see his dad in a long time. Mr. Knightley does not trust Frank, and the fact that Frank rushed back to London to get a haircut makes him even more suspicious of him. On the other hand, Emma finds Frank charming and thinks he likes her. She decides to stop him from being so charming, but she flirts with him. Jane Fairfax is another person who comes to the Highbury. Even though Jane is pretty, Emma does not like her. Mr. Knightley stands up for Jane by saying that she deserves sympathy because she is poor and might have to leave home to work as a governess. Mrs. Weston says that Mr. Knightley's defense is because he loves Jane, but Emma does not agree. Everyone thinks that Frank and Emma like each other, but Emma does not see Frank as a potential match for her. Instead, she sees him as a potential match for Harriet. Knightley says, ask Harriet to dance with him at a village ball because Mr. Elton and his new life and his new wife make her feel bad. Emma likes Knightley more because of how kind he is. Gypsy beggars try to take Harriet the next day, but Frank saves her. Emma thinks Harriet is talking about Frank when she tells her that she loves a man who is above her social class. Knightley thinks Frank and Jane might like each other, so he tries to warn Emma. Emma finds Knightley's hint funny, so she laughs at him. She flirts with Frank again and talks badly about Jane's kind aunt, Miss Bates, who lives alone. Knightley tells Emma that she should not do this. Everyone finds out the Frank's aunt has died. This sets up the secret that Frank and Jane have been secretly engaged and that Frank flirted with Emma to hide the fact that he was engaged to Jane. Frank later gets his uncle's permission to marry Jane. Emma worries about Harriet, but she finds out that Harriet loves Knightley, not Frank. Harriet thinks that Knightley feels the same way about her. This news saddens Emma, and she realizes she loves Knightley because of her sadness. Emma thinks that Knightley will now tell her that he loves Harriet, but he tells her that he loves her instead, to her delight. Robert Martin asks Harriet to marry him, and she says yes. Emma and Mr. Knightley get married at the end of the book, and Harriet and Mr. Martin do the same. So, what are the themes here discussed? There are plenty of themes that marriage and social class. Let's see. Emma is built around several marriages that have happened or are about to happen. In each case, the marriage raises the social status of the people involved. In Aston's time, a person's social status was based on family background, reputation, and wealth. One of the main ways to improve one's social status was to get married. That was the status of women during this day. This one of the this way of moving up in society was significant for women who could not improve their status by working hard, doing well independently. However, the book and suggests that if you marry someone who is too much better than you, it will cause trouble. So there are other themes like the confined nature of women's lives, the blinding power of the imagination, the barriers to free expressions, and the last one is symbols. Okay. In that next lecture, we can see character analysis. Now we have seen the plot overview of Jane Austen's Emma. So we could understand who is the protagonist and how the protagonist Emma now got married with Mr. Knightley, right? So this is the very, in a lighter way, we can say that romantic novel, right? Let's see the character analysis in the next video. Thank you.